the big boy, there's some big boy systems that came out in 1989. We're talking Game Boy, the start of Game Boy. We're talking the start of Sega Genesis as well. So that's huge. Game Boy, a little bit about the Game Boy. And I'll put on kind of the launch game for the Game Boy here on the share screen. Not a Super Mario World. Super Mario, at this time we're at Super Mario Brothers 3 is the like game everybody's buying right now. And so Game Boy's big launch is Super Mario Land is what it's called. And that's what we're looking at here.
Did everybody here have a Game Boy?
Yeah. I got a Game Boy Color was my first. I didn't have the gray one initially.
I didn't have the original either.
I can for some reason picture you with your Game Boy.
Me? Yeah.
Tatum, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's
Dude,
really
so funny story about that too. My mom got it for me, obviously, because I was really young. And I like got home and like lost it. And I didn't get another one for like 2 years. And then that was like my first system. And I got it and that was my system till I was like 15. So like I didn't get anything else. That was my game.
How did you lose it? Loses it immediately.
I don't know. I was an idiot. I'm still
naturally.
It was in like a van somewhere or something.
Yeah, I'm sure it was like deep in the crevice of a car seat. So 8-bit handheld, 4 shades of gray. Super Mario Land was the big launch. I don't know. What do you guys think of this compared to the other Mario games that we've seen? And now you're playing it with your hands. And if I remember correctly, this Nintendo was battery powered. It wasn't a charger. So that's kind of crazy to think about something you slap some batteries in and walk around with.
Yeah, wild. A lot of AA batteries sold in those days.
Oh yeah.
Like what if that was? They were definitely.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
They were definitely.
Energizer Bunny was at the top of his powers.
Yeah.
There was some dudes at Energizer in a room with Nintendo. Like, we're gonna make a lot of money together.
Yeah.
I would argue.
Just
there's a
follow
few
us
years
to the
there where
promised land.
he was the actual Christmas king. Santa was a little bit worried about it, probably for a few minutes.
Yeah. The Sega Genesis was, I believe, the first system that was in our house. And I always thought it was cool. Maybe because that's how they were kind of marketing it. We're not going to get into like Sonic yet because it's not that time yet. But Sonic was, the combatant to Mario. He was the cool version of Mario, basically.
Just a quick correction. I think you guys had a Super Nintendo first. Anyway, go ahead. Forward.
We'll have to bring in one of the idiots to fact check.
Corroborate. Yeah.
But yeah, this is just a commercial for it here. Sega Genesis, boys. Cool. I like the controllers. We're getting a little more.
Such a banger. The all black, the black on black.
Great
They were killing it.
Yeah, dude.
They were killing it. They definitely
Tommy
came out like the cool kids on the block.
Oh my god, bro. Thunder
It looks cooler than
Force.
Nintendo. It just does. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Super Hang On was my shit.
had a nice sleek figure.
It's kind of like the Marvel versus DC type thing. It's like you don't necessarily hate either one. They got like cool things on both sides.
You know what else it's like, dude? PlayStation and Xbox. Wow.
Wow, look at that. That's altered beast right there.
Presented by Stuck on the Home Screen.
Wow.
$200 when it came out.
Golden Axe.
Golden Axe. Oh, we got a whole
Axe.
whole thing. So these were the games that like came out with it right here that they're showing. All right, Golden Axe. This was fun. 2 players. I looked up the names for this. They're pretty funny. You play as a dwarf, Gilius Thunderhead from the Mines of Wolud, whose brother was killed by soldiers of Death Adder. A male barbarian, Axe Battler is his name, wielding a 200 broadsword. Revenge for the murder of his mother at the hands of Death Adler. Longsword wielding Amazon Tyrus Flare, whose parents were killed by Death Adler. This guy killed all of these people's families.
He's
Death
killing it
Adder's
right
a
now.
real dick.
Yeah, he's a jerk. This chicken thing, I remember riding those.
Yeah, I mean, Altered Beast, it came out with the Sega. Basically, it was a side scroller that punch and fight your way to the the end boss of the stage. While you do that, you collect like little tokens, and then it gave you like a special power that'll bring up here where you could change to an altered beast.
Oh, dude, man, bear pig.
You power out, you get you just beat
Legitimate.
stuff up.
Oh,
Look at
legitimate.
the size of his
Legitimate.
head compared to the rest of his body.
He got the
Just
chest
beating shit
first.
out of-
He's waiting for the head upgrade. He's like, uh-oh.
Oh yeah.
He's got
There you
my
go.
pills.
Each level you change into a different animal. As a looking at it now, it's stupid. As a kid, it was terrifying.
Nah, I mean, for back
Mom
then,
always said I had to grow into my head. What cemetery is this guy?
Is that the guy from Power Rangers?
I'm about to say,
Yeah,
Laurent, whatever his name is.
Zoltan,
Yeah, I don't know.
Zoloft.
What's he gonna turn into?
Oh,
he's a bear.
Oh,
Bear.
there it
He was a
is.
bear. What was he before? Wolf?
oh,
yeah, well,
I'm hulked out.
I love that it's a bear with like an old timey boxing stance.
But I'm upset.
come on, man.
Like if I
Oh,
had
what
to
do we got this
imagine a
time?
bear in a martial arts stance, I don't think it would be an old timey boxing stance.
Is the bad guy in this the dude from Little Nicky? With the boobs on his head? We're still in like 1989 right now, but Double Dragon.
It was something that we would play right alongside of Contra. It would just be like the martial arts version of it. You know what I mean? You're just
Yeah.
running around beating the shit out of gangs.
He just punched a woman and took her in. Did you
We're
see
like,
that?
we're like, hey, bud, you can't do that. We're in
Oh,
matching,
Double Dragon.
we're
Yeah,
in
hell
matching
yeah.
outfits.
Yo, shout
We're gonna
out Scott
kick your
Wolf.
face in.
Shout out Scott Wolf, the real
Oh,
Scott
yeah.
Wolf on Instagram.
Dang.
Shout
Well,
out.
the fake one got back to us too. So
Shout out fake Scott Wolf as well. Thank you for getting back to us on Instagram.
Shout him out.
oh, is this the end? You saved the chick? Did you guys ever do this? I never got this far.
I don't think I ever got this far.
Oh, look at her panties are showing.
Right? What's going on? I mean, I guess it's the late 80s.
But you live happily forever.
Video games bringing pixelated ass to incels since the late 80s.
But what one game of the year in 1989, and it's this, and I've never heard of this game.
Oh, there's so many better games.
Yeah. You heard of this? Has anybody heard of this?
No.
Ghouls and
I
Ghosts.
never. It looks pretty fast paced for a
It's
scroller.
fast for the era, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Like
Maybe that's why.
The cover art for this is dope too. Like if you've seen this in like the store or something, you definitely want to look at it.
Arthur has finally defeated Loki.
Oh.
So is Loki the demon guy?
A little
I
King
think that's
Arthur,
correct.
little Loki, just mix and match him.
Mixed mythology, no big deal.
No one knows here.
Video
Who
games.
said Vikings and dragons
Fantasy.
didn't hang out? I mean, if you looked at actually where the Vikings did conquer, it's very possible. Very possible.
I feel like the last one I played of this was maybe on the PlayStation 2.
Oh my god. Tremendously
Two
difficult games.
3. Yeah. And it was one of those things where I'm like, yeah, I got to put this down. This is just too much for me.
I don't think I've ever played an Indie Gaiden.
If you would have told me,
I'm guessing they're much
started-
different than this now, but
Yeah. If you would have
They've
told me they
evolved,
started on
yeah.
Xbox, I would have believed you. I didn't know they went this far back.
Yeah.
That's why I think
everybody
we see
had-
this drastic similarities between these two is because they're both produced by Konami and they're both considered Konami beat 'em ups, The Simpsons and Ninja Turtles. That's
Okay.
why they all seem
Yeah.
similar.
They're the same.
There you
boat,
go.
Just 2 years later
Yeah.
with different.
what we need to do is we need to get a hold of one of these and play it because all these videos are one dude playing it. This is the fun of this was that all four of us could be playing this in an arcade, right?
Super hectic. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, it's
And I
bad.
So
feel
much
like for back then, it used to ramp up the bad guys based on how many you had. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that they had that technology even to figure that out. Perfect.
It's so fun. People come out and hold a pizza up, and that's like a one up or whatever, or like hold out I don't even know, some type of weapon. I think they did that in this, or maybe I'm just mixing this with Simpsons. But
You might be right.
Remember
Great
when
boss.
it was tough because when you died, obviously you'd go back to the start. But you remember how like exciting it was to like get to a new area.
The boss battles are great in these games, though.
Did a new Ninja Turtle movie come out, like the CGI one? I think John Cena voiced Bebop or Rocksteady, one of the two.
Did it come out already?
I'm not sure.
With Sheamus, the other wrestler.
Oh, really?
Sheamus was this one. I think this is Bebop.
That's hilarious. I met that guy.
You met Sheamus?
I met a bunch of wrestlers. I got to go backstage at a show a bunch of years back.
He's a big boy.
Pretty cool. El Sharpton was there. It was fucking yeah.
This game was hard. It was one of those games that was based off of something that was just hard for no reason. Like, I'm sure we're gonna get into the Lion King game and the Aladdin game, and I don't know if you remember the 7-Up game, or no, was it 7-Up?
Yeah, 7-Up. You're right.
Yeah, all these games, I thought they were fun as hell.
They were too. There's something about them, even though they're hard as shit.
Yeah.
Classic.
Oh, dude, coming up on these turns. Oh my god.
It felt so fast. You were like, "Holy shit, the future is here, man!"
I feel like this one in
Reaching
Cruising
over.
USA was in like every arcade.
I don't know about you guys,
Yeah.
but I play all my racing games exclusively in first person view. Does anybody else do that or not?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It depends on what I'm doing. To be honest, if I have to shoot a gun while I'm driving. Oh, you said racing game. Never mind.
All right, boys. That was gaming in the very late 80s, early 90s. I mean, just 89 pretty much. I don't even think we went into 90.
Dabbled here and there, talked about a few things, but didn't really.
Dipped our toes.
Yeah.
It's just crazy to think about the fact that that's just 1 year of games. Like, and you don't even think about it until you look at it. And just how far we've come and how many of these gaming franchises started then. And it's what, 89? I mean, I'm 30 years later, over 30 years later at this point, and they're still coming out with new games and remakes of these games. It's crazy.
And you got to think it was probably also the start of the console wars, if you really want to think about it. Super Nintendo, Sega.
Yeah.
They're starting to go head to head, so they have to start churning out the bangers to, see who's going to win that one.
It became a very competitive market really, really quickly.
Yeah. And arcades are, I guess, I mean, even just throwing arcades into that war, because I feel like now you're competing with these home consoles. And
You got to they're phasing out.
it's just
They got to stay credible. Stay in the game.
You got to offer something that you're not getting. So that's when you're coming in with these racing games that are having speakers in the headphones and like the games with
gear shifters.
Yeah. Like you got to have something you can't just play at home.
Yep.
Now even a step further for the KO punch, I feel like VR is taking that, because I mean, even it was nice to go to arcades for like your Time Crisis, your yada yada with like the the third party peripheral items, but now you don't even need that stuff. You just slap on the VR headset and you're robbing a bank or something. So
all right, that has been the 1989 travel through time, and good time to let you guys know we are on YouTube, we are on Instagram, we are on Facebook. What else are we on, Cheech? We're on Spotify. Where are we?
Yeah, we're on Spotify. We're on your mother's radio, your father's radio, on any radio around. Did it.
Like, subscribe, comment. We'll respond. We'll respond in earnest. So please.
Sometimes. Don't listen.
Just come support.
give us questions, please. Send us questions.
I'm not saying please.
Cheech will not say please.
Just come support like I would support you. That's all I'm gonna say.
And if you are listening to us and you like us, but you say, man, I'd like to hear them talking about bibbidi bibbidi, bring that bibbidi bibbidi but us, and we'll talk about it. We have YouTube at our fingertips. We can pull up anything in the world. Anything in the world.
He's right, we do.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be all porn.
Keep gaming, guys.
Yeah.